I am a member of the kiosk, which means that I deal with people every day. We sell tickets for people who want to go and visit Spike. So that is a pretty full-on job and always busy. We had 90,000 visitors to Spike Island last year. That's the volume of people that we're dealing with. Unfortunately, at the time, we didn't have any bathroom facilities, so that was obviously an issue. We used to have to use Commodore Hotel, but it was not practical for us because of the volume of people that we deal with in our job. It was very hard to leave our workplace to use those facilities. So what began to happen was that we wouldn't take our breaks, or we would just say have a tiny amount of fluids so that we were not going to the loo. So that was pretty difficult and sometimes undignified. It was like, yeah, it's terrible, it's wrong, but there's nothing we can do about it right now. And then last year we were told that yes, we were getting our new office space, and we were delighted because there was light at the end of the tunnel. So then you kind of suck it up, you kind of go, okay, you know what, it's fine, it's coming, it'll be fine. And then we knew no more until the kiosk arrived last February, and we were so happy. But that happiness was very short-lived because we realised very quickly that there was no toilet in it at all. And so we complained, and we were told that there was no funding for it. We were then coming up to March of this year, and then COVID happened. So we were shut down along with every other business. And that was it until we were brought back then on one of the phases when the tourists and hospitality sector were opening again. And after that, myself and my colleague went to our management and we said, we're not happy with the situation. We're opening next week. We have no toilet facilities. Given the pandemic, we feel that this is very necessary for both of us. The hand washing facilities that they were providing to us was a tap at the end of the pier head that the fishermen used to wash out their buckets. So obviously that was a nonsense, and if it wasn't so serious, you'd have to laugh at that. And even though capacity obviously has been reduced significantly, it still is a huge volume of people, hundreds of people every day throughout the summer that we have been dealing with. And we were really, really nervous.
Think about those women being in the kiosk all day long, trying to don't drink too much because obviously there is a queue and it's busy, and they have to walk so far to the toilet. Then they actually weren't able to even drink enough, and just last week it was like 30 degrees.
So we put in a complaint to the HSA, we wrote to the Port of Cork, and we wrote to the Board of Management. Honestly, we thought a few weeks ago that when we contacted the HSA that they would be on top of it, and this is what workers are told. So we went down that road, and that road didn't really do anything for us. We're still waiting to hear back from the HSA actually. So it has been extremely frustrating for us.
In April 2020, in the midst of this pandemic, Unite produced a document, Hope or Austerity. At that stage, workplaces were universally closed down, including this one. We made the point in that, and so did the Irish Congress of Trade Unions, that the public had to be reassured that when workplaces opened again, particularly in this sector, that they were safe. And the best way to reassure the public was to reassure the workers. And that has not happened. These workers did everything right. These workers made a complaint to the Health and Safety Executive. It couldn't have been a clearer complaint. It was about a toilet, it was about a sink, and it was in a pandemic.
Our management, there was toing and froing with loads and loads of emails over those weeks. On one of the conversations that we had from our boss, he came to our office and he had said, we had gone over his head, we had gone to the HSA, and that if the HSA ruled in our favour, then Port of Cork would pull all operations out of Cobh. and that I should, understand that, and that we should understand that if that was to happen, the impact that would have on our town, the loss of tourism to our town. So if you can imagine the tourism industry being devastated in Cobh because 2 women were looking for a toilet, I mean, it was unbelievable when you think about it. Even hearing myself say that, it seems so unbelievable.
I was aware of your issue with the operation of the kiosk as per the complaint made to the HSA. Following the HSA visit, they have confirmed to the Spike Island Development Company, SIDC, that the measures provided by the SIDC regarding facilities in Cobh for staff are acceptable. That matter is now closed.
What we should be having here is direct communication between the people making the complaint, the workers, and the health and safety people in the public health interest. And to this day, the health and safety executive still have not come back to the workers who made that complaint. This fills me and fills Unite Trade Union full of concern.
As per email, you will not be able to continue in employment with SIDC beyond Monday the 10th unless a signed contract is returned.
An ultimatum came from our boss to say that we needed to sign our contracts, and added to our contracts was a new clause, clause 21, which meant that we had to accept all facilities that they were providing to us in the kiosk as it was. Now, those facilities included that tap. It included using the toilet facilities at Carrick House, our public toilet, a toilet at Centra, or our library toilets.
They were asked to sign a contract. They'd accepted they would have no toilet, they would have no hand washing facilities or sanitation available to them. And these are people who are dealing with customers hundreds of times a day, hand to hand dealing, hundreds of times a day, handing over tickets, boarding boats, boarding on and off boats on the island and here in Cork.
Well, we were told that if we didn't sign our contracts, that we were given a number of days to sign them, and if we didn't sign it by the Friday, that we would be no longer working for Spike Island.
Now off you go.
It's all across the sector, and it's not happening only here. And especially now, like a lot of workers, they compromise their safety because they are so scared. Especially now, when so many places went out of business, and they're not going to reopen. So we're looking on the massive job loss. So people will compromise their health and safety just in order to keep the job. But they don't have to do that, because if they come together, if they reach out to unions and with the proper support, and if they confront then their employers, they're going to win.
The week that we were given the ultimatum about our jobs, we decided that we needed to then contact the union and bring the union in. And that's what we did.
Well, immediately when they were threatened with losing their jobs that Friday evening, we immediately put them in touch with our solicitors. We held a conference call with the representatives of the workers, myself, with the solicitors, and they got reassurance from our legal people within minutes that this couldn't happen and wouldn't happen, and the union would stand foursquare behind them, which we have done. Our members cannot sign these documents, containing as they do efforts by you to contract our members into unsafe and unlawful work practices in breach of health and safety legislation. This union is appalled that workers in your employ in 2020 are denied basic hand washing and toilet facilities.
And within 48 hours we got our Portaloo, believe it or not. And just to see that arrive onto the pier, what a victory, like, for all of us, you know, having been told time and time again over a number of years that this was never going to happen.
And it's a basic facilities, you know, we're not talking about luxury toilet, we get a portable loo, and that makes such a huge difference for the workers right now. You know, they can use this, they can wash their hands, you know, instead of using the tap on the shore which they were offered before. You know, that's all the minimum it should be provided for the workers.
So the fact that people were prepared to put the public health at risk in that way was a great concern to us, and we were able to resolve it within a couple of days. But that's an issue that was going on for 5 years. The toilet has been absent for 5 years.
That's pretty empowering, I think, as workers, to know that we were able to pick up the phone and contact somebody who really did help us and really did listen to us. So I'm here, I suppose, to say that, and to say that to workers, that no matter what they're telling you in your workplace, keep fighting on. Ring a union, even if you're not unionised. We have to make it better for who comes after us. And that's it, because too many of our rights have been worn away over the years. We have so few. So the ones that we have to keep, we have to fight for, and we have to fight for better. And I think that's really, really important.